Welcome to my channel, everyone, and thank you for coming back. Well, this is my summary for the collaborative that I'm in with Cool Cakes and Crafts with Amalia. There's about 10 or 11 of us YouTubers, all different levels of subscribers, and it's been fun. I enjoy seeing what they're up to. The theme that we had going on for February was love, and it's the way that I took it was to love what I'm doing, whether it's in my personal life, in my craft life, in my work life, to love what I'm doing. And I'll have to say, so far so good, at least for right now. But let's get to the goals and see how I am doing. Use what I have. I have been doing that. I did finish the journal with the catalog that I had, so that was sort of an upcycle project as well, and I believe I have it sold, so that's a good thing. It was the last thing that I had started, but because someone was interested, I did go on and get this finished. So this is one of the projects that now I can check off my list, and I'm going to put it here to the side next to Sissy. And I still do have these two, but I'm very close to getting them finished. In this case, this one does have all the quotes written in it. I just have to finish stenciling in it. And again, this one is not meant to be elaborate. This one is meant to have quotes that were not necessarily important to me, but that touched me in some kind of way, I guess, depending on my circumstances at the time. So this one I will definitely have finished when we do the next collab summary. And then the one that I had started at the Stencil Girl Retreat and are finishing, hopefully, this will be within probably the next month or two. I am using nothing but Stencil Girl stencils, since I did get it from them at their retreat. That's what I want to finish. And it's really not a lot of pages. And for the most part, I have painted on all of them and done a little bit of collage. But I still have stenciling and some fine-tuning and getting all those layers on there. So that's where I stand with the journals that I have started. Now, 3 retreats a year, and that's not counting the day trips. I did just have a day crop last weekend, and that's where I finished the journal that I just showed you with the cloth cover. And I have my 3 retreats now planned. I'm doing one in May that's kind of local here. It'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I have another one, and I had told you about that in one of my ramblings. It is going to be in Scottsboro, Alabama on October the 5th through 8th. The 8th. And if you are still interested, or if you are interested, they still do have some spots available. One thing that's about this is a little side note, and I may have mentioned it, I don't really remember. There is an unclaimed baggage store in this town, and I have always wanted to go. So it's one of those things where it was like, wow, I've always wanted to go. I have this opportunity to meet some new people, make some new friends, people that want to journal and play. I got to do this. And I'll have to tell you, Terry has been wonderful to me and very welcoming. And it's a cheap retreat compared to some that I've been to. And I got to tell you, I think this one is going to be a lot of fun for not a big expense. And I think, from what I can tell, it's going to be right up my alley. So, and then the 3rd retreat, I just planned and booked it for this past weekend as well. It's going to be also here in Georgia, but it's in northern Georgia on Lake Sinclair. And it is like the first, I believe, weekend in December, and they may extend it on to a couple of days that week. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to have to cough. All right. Sorry about that. But anyway, so I do have my 3 retreats planned, And I'm sure there'll be another weekend or two here. I'll get with some friends and we'll just hang out on a Saturday. And as far as keeping organized is concerned, at the end of this video, I have already taped and will post after this video my art space, my craft room, and to let you see kind of what I'm up against. But one thing that I have accomplished is I have been keeping this table clear, that I can sit down. Yeah, I might have to move a journal out of the way to work on something else, but for the most part, I do not have things piled up. It has been so much better, and I think that's one reason why I've been able to get some things done. I also finished up that ATC swap. I did a video on, what everybody sent in. So I did get those mailed out. So that was a little side thing. I have been finding some time, not a lot, but I have been finding some time. And I've been able to keep up with my one video a week. Sometimes it might be goodies that I have found. Not so much in the stores. I like showing different kinds of things. I posted about the aeronautical literature that I found. That is some of the coolest stuff, I swear. And that's the kind of stuff that, I have been posting and will continue to post. Things like that. Things that you just can't find at your everyday craft store. So I think I've been doing pretty good with my, the collaborative and the challenges that I've set for myself. So I am going to ask you to stay tuned. Stay right here. I'm going to end this video and then do my room. And then after that, I'll be back. So this might be a little bit extra long today compared to others, but I really do want to share my room with you and get your opinions and feedback. So hold on. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my collaborative with Cool Cakes and Crafts with Amalia. One of my goals has been to keep my art area, especially on my desk, clean, that I can sit down at any point and work on something for a little while or a long while. And I've done pretty good. And this is my craft area, my table, and I'll show you more about that in a little bit. This video, I hope, is not going to be too long, but I want to give you a real idea of my space. So first we're going to come out here into the hall, and let me turn this light on. I thought it would be a little lighter. I have this bookcase in the hall right outside of my room, and as you can see, it pretty much goes floor to ceiling, but I have all sorts of things. Those are my unmounted stamps, a little bit more there, and then the ones that come on the cards are in those baskets. That's some washi tape. That is some clay items, some brass stencils, and then at the bottom is just miscellaneous paper and all that I do for journals. And then that little bin right there, is just some clay items for clay accessories. And then I do have these little boxes over here. That is something that I'm going to be working on getting rid of. I have some metal pieces that go with the cabinet doors and stuff that I do. The bottom is some punches, and the top one, which is just about empty, just has some miscellaneous things that I've put there until I can get them put away. Now I am going to come in here now and close the door, because on the back of the door I have some of my dies hanging. I got some larger magnetic sheets. I went to my local shop, who is a friend of mine, Neva, and she does those signs that go like on the side of doors, for people advertising their company, doors to their vehicles. So I got some from her, but these smaller ones now are just vent covers that I got at Walmart, and that is 1.5 right there. And I just have them all hanging with 3M hooks, so as you can see. And I like it. It works well for me. So then to the right is just a above the door. Let's do that. Some clay piece and a painting. There's that puzzle that I did my video on. That is one of those citrusol pictures that I did with Nancy Curry. Some brushes that were autographed by Donna Dewberry. My little angel that recently broke from my mother-in-law. And just some other little miscellaneous. I did that. It's kind of a textured painting. The paintings I did with Sandy McTeer. You need to Google her. She pretty much travels all over the world these days teaching classes. Anyway, so let me back up then. This is my art table, and this is my setup, if you can see it, for filming videos. I really like it. My table is very sturdy. I notice on some videos that when they do something, everything shakes. It's probably because they're on some sort of plastic or card table, and they've got their camera attached to the table, so when they hit the table, everything shakes. Above my table, I have what was a window, and I've added shelves behind it, and that's where my stamp pads live, and then just some miscellaneous things that I've made or have been given through the years are in there on display as well. And then I just recently did this. I had been wanting to do this for a while. Markers and pens. Now, of course, it's not all of them, but it's pretty close. I am finding, of course, that some are all used up and have dried out. So as I find them, I've been tossing them. I do only have a little bit more to add, and I didn't want to go up any higher. So what that is, and I'm going to get it for you here, is a piece of downspout, and I cut it into 4.5 inch sections. And what I like about it is because it is flat, they stack up, and I don't have to adhere them, hot glue them, or anything together. They sit great. So it's not like the round PVC pipe that you have to do something with. And then all those little bins just have things in them, glue and daubers, sandpaper, metal pieces, just odds and ends that I will have there easily at my fingertips. Now my desk, I want to tell you, I had it made. I had a gentleman in town do the square iron for me, and all it simply was one side with the ability to add 2 shelves, and those are just wooden pieces of wood that I added as a shelf, and they're just sitting there. They're not adhered in any kind of way. I did put a piece of laminate on the top of each of them just so that my baskets would slide a little easier. And those baskets are pretty long. Let's see if I can go to the side here without making everyone dizzy. I got those baskets at the Container Store. So I like them because you can see in them, and then I still do have room for a little bit of stuff in the back. I pretty much cover every inch of this room with something. Now the table also, the tabletop, I also had it made. It is deeper than a normal desktop or tabletop, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but back there I have a little area that is raised, and that holds those containers perfectly. And my thinking was, when I did that, is if I laid something up there to dry or scooched it out of my way, but then I could still open a container drawer and not have to worry about moving the piece. Since then, I've kind of put some things in the way, but I still do like it raised up a little. And anyway, so I had that made too, and it is just covered in laminate, but I do put the protectants down, the Teflon sheets and everything, just to help protect it. And then these are just the little things that I keep at my fingertips, my water cup and everything. And then of course I have some things over here. The bottom is paint, and this one is like word stickers. Now I even went back up under, and you probably can't see, but there's some paint boxes back there, and then underneath of it I have some wallpaper laying on the floor. Then off to the side I have a couple little toolboxes. One has assortment of beads, and one has like hardware. When I say hardware, I'm talking about things that are embellishments like metal legs, or my Dremel tool, for instance, is in there, and the things that go with it. Just miscellaneous things if I have to work on basically any kind of wood. And then coming up here, I did do some stained glass. Thought I wanted to do that. Had to get rid of all that stuff. It just was too much of a mess for me with the glass slivers. A clay piece and a photo of us doing some art, and then some more clay, and a plate that we all did many times with the fabric behind it, and some ornaments, another stained glass piece. And then there's my big fat journal. Inside that Wonder Woman goblet is some chocolate, but shh, don't tell anybody. And then I did this frame with the chicken wire behind it to hold cards and stuff that I have gotten. And then just some more of my paintings and a clay piece. Now this box I really have liked. Sandy McTeer, I think even that pattern was even sent to a magazine. I'm not sure which one, and was published. I think that might have been the first thing that she got published. Now she gets things published all the time. And anyway, these are paintings that I did with her. And then this bookcase is a little bit of a mess, but my printer sits on it. And then I have like my deli paper and prints that I've done, and just some dies, some more dies. And then those binders are 5 of the 6 binders that I have of stencils, and then just some paper. And then at the bottom I just have miscellaneous magazines for collage, and then just some other little magazines and calendars and stuff that I've decided to keep. And then my camera from my desk comes over to a laptop, which I'm considering changing. Maybe I can hook it up to my desktop and still be able to operate it from my art table. But anyway, so I have this desk that does look out the window right here too. And I have a visitor with me. I have Sissy. If she's going to look at me, I don't know. There she is, kind of, sort of. She stays with me all the time. And then this is something that I'm kind of proud of. I didn't build it myself. My husband did. But it holds some of the wooden stamps that I have. And what I like about it is, when I told him what I wanted the bigger, or the bottom shelves to be farther apart to hold the bigger stamps. And as it goes up, the shelves get a little closer together to hold the smaller ones. And then next to it, kind of a junk pile right here now, but the back there is things that I use on jelly printing. And then it's just an atlas I'm tearing up. And then next to it, this is a gun cabinet that my husband was given when he graduated from high school. So he had gotten a gun safe. So I wanted to do something with this. This cabinet's always been in this room. So I went to Lowe's, and they will cut wood for you. So I had them, let's see if I can open this. I had them cut, not sure if you can see it or not, but those right there are 2x2s, which means they're 1.5 by 1.5. And I had them cut them into the same length. So then what I did is I put them in all 4 corners of the cabinet, placed a wooden shelf on top of it, and of course with all the weight, I didn't have to nail them or glue them or anything. So therefore, I never had to do anything to the gun cabinet, to mess with it, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to keep it as it was. So anyway, on the top shelf, I just have some magazines and books to tear apart, and that right there is my little postage and cards that I've already made. Again, some books and stuff to tear up, my ATC binders, and then on the bottom is nothing but wallpaper books. And except for those right there are some journals that I've made that I have on my Etsy shop. So, and then on the top of the cabinet, I have just a small bookcase, and that's just envelopes that I've made, and some of those sets that you can buy with the card and the envelope. The longer burger basket has some ATC blanks in it. And then I've started kind of putting cards as they get a little older in that jar, that big jar. Anyway, so that's that area. And then next to it, this rolly card has wooden stamps, and then it also has like some chipboard and the backing on some packaging when you get it for me to use. And then this actually turns this, but I don't turn it because of where it sits. And I can reach everything, so I'm fine with that. But it has cards and things to add to journals or layering in a journal. So those are all kind of handy for me. And then out my back window. And then this is supposed to be nothing but my Cricut machine. Right now I have some fabric on it, but I'll get it back to where it's easy for me to use my Cricut machine. And then this shelf here has a laminator, and then it has just some things to use as embellishments. And then down here at the bottom are my Cricut cartridges, and then a bin that doesn't really have much in it right now. So, and then this is started to be where I've been keeping advertisements to use as tip-ins and tip-outs and tip-overs. And then this area here is nothing but paper, scrapbook paper, all sorts of scrapbook paper and doilies and things like that. And then that has kind of just been a hodgepodge that I've been collecting. Like when I took apart the keyboard and all that stuff that was inside, that's in there. And then on the top of it, I just have some bottle paints that I am trying to use up and at least get down to one of these racks. So that's going to take me a little bit of time. And then behind it are some more of my paintings, a rooster, some flowers, a peacock. And then I had this little corner over here that I went to IKEA and bought one of those little skinny bookcases. And those baskets I just got at the Dollar Tree. And this holds napkins and some paint markers. I think the top one has some quilling stuff in it. The next one has the pieces off of the spiral binding left over that I can use in smaller journals. So that's that. Let me close the closet door here. So on the back of this door as well, I have some more dies. And I've about run out of space. I don't really know what I'm going to do if I get any more dies. So this is my closet from Heck. And it holds like gift wrapping and ribbon, a sewing machine. It holds, well, some old records down there. But it holds stationery and some just regular colored paper. And it's probably cleaner than it's ever been. But it has a long way to go as well. And like up here, those little bins, like that bin right there holds things when I do shower bombs. And the one behind it holds those little button things. I think it's called like eye button that you wrap fabric around. So that's that closet. Close that up. And then some more of my artwork and a shadow box type thing that I've done, collage. That was watercolor paper. We were doing Christmas card fronts. And then that is one of those pours that I did at a retreat a couple of years ago. So let me step back here. I put these shelves above the plastic bins. I pretty much, when I buy a stamp, I make sure I get a re-inker. So that's for the most part what these are. But there is like a jar that has, like that jar has Flour Soft in it. That jar has glitter. That one I believe has glitter. But there's also like those paint kind of tube things, you know, and some buttons. There's the little journal that I did with the blueprint plans. Gelatos, some miscellaneous flowers, some ink. You get the idea. The card or the little notebook that Pam made for me. And then this is on my binding thread for my journals. And my goal for the top of the drawers was to make this an area for tools. Well, It got so that I couldn't even use the tool up there. But at least I do have all the tools together. And again, as I use things, I'm going to be using some things up, hopefully. And then I'll make room as I go. And then that over here is lettering. And then I'm not going to go through all of the drawers. But this is my setup. Trying to get myself in a position where I don't disturb Sissy on the other side of the room. And as you can see, it's 6 drawers up and 6 drawers across. And I just have things in it like stains and some more paint, and then all the Sizzix dyes and some clay down there at the bottom, and sprays. And then I keep my alphabet letters in one of them. And then these are my 2 Rasco carts that I got from IKEA. And I just found these little bins right here, or little, bins, whatever. They actually fit on the side of the cart, and they're about the same color that I had. They don't fit on the end, but they do fit on the side, and I like them because they're square. The ones that I had were these right here that are the rounded. So I have just about, loaded that cart up as much as I can. There is a Facebook group, by the way, called Pip My Rasco. You need to go and look at that Facebook group. It is the best. It'll make you scratch your head like amazing. But I have changed the way I've done this. I used to have all my markers in Coke cartons and up on the top of the cart. I did change that. I like them laying down better. But as you can see, I have like my adhesives and stuff on 2 of them. This is just where I've been filing some collage away. These are just some things that, I need and don't want to keep on my tabletop. This one is some tools and some tape, and then the bottom one is nothing but different kinds of tapes. And then hanging here, and I'm going to do a video on this, is some tags and ribbons and stuff. And then that is some more washi tape. And that's pretty much my room. And I guess lastly, I have this picture, snowman, and then a mermaid that I did at one of my retreats. And I really liked this project. This was a fun project to me. I actually did it inside of a journal. And I did another box on my own. And then just a little shelf that I have some miscellaneous things in. I did recently take down something, so I need to put something in that spot. And then some gift wrap is just in this corner, which again I would like to get out of here and put in the closet. So that's my room, and I'm doing pretty well at, I think, keeping it organized now. I don't really bring much in that I don't go ahead and put away. So I just wanted to show it to you that I've been keeping on track, and hopefully maybe in 6 months I'll do this again. And I will have made some progress and gotten rid of some things or tightened things up and maybe organized that closet a little bit better. So anyway, I can have a seat and sit in my pink chair that I salvaged and covered. And I have a blanket sitting on it now. But I did the upholstery to it and everything. So I've been really proud of it. And with that, me and Sissy are going to say goodbye to you and thank you for coming by to play with us, and we will see you all later, and I will close and send you on to part 3 of my video. Bye. So that was my art space. What did you think? I know it's a lot of stuff, but like I said, this is the year I'm going to use that stuff. I don't know how much room I'll make, but hopefully it'll be enough to, like I say, clean out some of those boxes and maybe at least get everything in the room. But anyhow, it is what it is. I'm going to plug away. What about these fuzzy dice I got on my desk now? Isn't this a hoot? My boss has asked me to see if I could find any fuzzy dice. I said, I think I have some in my attic. We have a guy that's going to retire at the end of this week. I don't know what the little joke is, but my boss wanted some, so I climbed up in the attic and I got them. So I'll let you know how all that works out. But anyhow, thanks for coming by, and stop by and see the other YouTubers on the collab we're doing for Cool Cakes and Crafts with Amalia. We would love to have you. This was all about love, and for me it was loving what I do in many different aspects and loving those around me, and I think I'm doing it. I try to be a good person all the time. Live and let live. So anyhow, thanks. And listen, if you have any questions about anything that you saw in my art area, my craft room, give me a shout out. Just ask me. And if I need to do a little video on anything that you saw, I'll be glad to. Us YouTubers are always looking for a reason to put up another video. So I'd be glad to. I do have some organizational skill in there. I just need to continue to do it day in and day out. So anyway, I don't want to keep rambling, but thanks for coming by. And as far as the collaborative is concerned, we are to post again the first Saturday in April. And so hopefully you will be back to see what we're all up to, and check out the other gals. Some of them are really, well, not some of them, all of them are very talented, do different kinds of things, and I'm sure that they would appreciate you coming by. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe, give me that thumbs up, and I will see you in a little while. Bye.